Hello, and welcome back to another exciting adventure with Aaron Stringer in another episode of Legacy Made Clear. Aaron, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great too, thank you. You know what? I think it's important that you tell us exactly where you are. What's the name of your firm?
I'm with Red Cliff Legal. Yes,
Yes. In the delightful town of St. George, Utah.
exactly.
You know, one of the questions that we seem to be getting from folks who are listening and watching the podcast are, how do I choose the right executor or trustee? And how do I avoid choosing the wrong one? What are the roles of each one of those, and how do we answer that question?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's not something we think about too often until, you're right in front of me. We're making these choices. So, first of all, to the distinction between the two of them, the an executor would apply to a will. So it comes down to just the terminology, what applies to which type of document. So we have for a will, we have an executor. Sometimes they're called personal representative for a will
Okay.
also. For a trust, they're called a trustee. So that's there's the trustee, which is usually the person that creates the trust. So they are the initial trustee as long as they're living and able. And then
Mhm.
there's also the successor trustee. So that's the person that steps in after that initial trustee, becomes incapacitated or passes away.
Wow. So this is kind of complicated. I don't think anybody would want to do this on their own.
No, ideally they wouldn't. Yeah, because exactly what we're talking about today. These are very important roles. I mean, these are the
Yeah.
people that are basically taking over your job if you're no longer able to manage your property. So
Yeah.
it's very important to select the right people.
Yeah. So you'd have to figure out, so am I an executor or a trustee? And then there's what, a secondary trustee? Is that what?
Right. Yeah. So there's the person that creates the trust. So that's my client that comes in. They're going to be the trustee of the trust. And then part of what they have to do, they have to decide, who do they know, who do they trust to take over for them after, they can't do it anymore. And so that person would be called the successor trustee. And then, we always recommend you name at least one backup to them as well. Because a big part of what estate planning is it's planning for all these different contingencies. So what happens if A occurs? What if B occurs? Then you want to have someone in place either way, because that's what planning is. We want to have something set up beforehand.
So, how do I know what I should look for in getting somebody to fulfill these roles? I mean, should I use somebody in my family? Are there professional trustees we can hire? How does this work?
Well, that's a good question. It's one of the reasons why it's so important to come in and talk to someone like myself, where we can go over, their specific needs, their specific plan to say who would be best. There are some cases where, yeah, it'd be great. They can have just one of their children. If they have an adult child that they trust them, they feel that they're responsible and can handle something like that, then that's a great fit because then you're not going to have you're going to have someone that's familiar with you that knows your wishes and is close to you and cares about what they're doing. In other cases, maybe the family dynamics aren't so great and there's more potential for conflict. And so in that situation, maybe looking at a professional, naming someone, there are folks like attorneys, CPAs, even banks that have departments that handle trusts that help to act as trustees. So there are other options if if there is that potential, if there's a need for it.
I didn't realize there were professional trustees, but it kind of makes sense. And the fact that you can even go to a bank, I guess they have departments for that. I was unaware of that. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a great option if there's the need there. Of course, the flip side is they're going to be charging you a lot to do it, so they'll take like a percentage per year, or
Mm.
one way or another they'll certainly charge the trust. But if it avoids lawsuits, then it's worth it.
Yes. One way to avoid lawsuits is just try to get along with the members of your family.
Exactly. That's a good
Save,
start. That's
yeah,
always a good start.
save tens of thousands of dollars. Just get
Yeah.
along for right
And I
now.
mean, that brings up a great point. Communication, that
Yeah.
solves so much and is so helpful to the eventual, smooth process of administering an estate. If my client, they create their plan, and if they just then hide their plan away in a safe somewhere and never talk to anybody about it, it's good that they have the plan, but it's even better if they go the extra step, talk to their family, say, okay, I've appointed you in this role, and this is how I, would like you to carry out that role. And
Hmm.
so that can do wonders to just make sure that it happens smoothly. No one's going to be surprised that all of a sudden, okay, I'm the trustee. What does that mean? What do I do? They're going to have a heads up at least to know that they're going to be in that spot.
Yeah. I know when my parents appointed me to be the trustee of their estate, they sat both my brother and I down and we had a little talk. And my brother was a little bit miffed. Well, I live closer. Why aren't I the trustee? And they said, Michael's the oldest. This is his job. It was like, and it was like, oh, okay. It kind of,
Yeah.
I'm sure you get that question a lot too. So,
Yeah, and again, it's just so personal to that family. Geography can play a role in it, but it's
mhm.
also who's going to be more responsible. Some One child might have experience in financial management, another might have experience in the healthcare industry, so maybe it's better to appoint them for your healthcare directive.
Yeah.
So there are many roles, and it's a good idea to just kind of assess each and apply that to how you select your trustees and other um, responsible positions.
Sounds good. So, Aaron, if somebody has questions, they'd like to set up a free consultation with you. How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'd love it if you'd give me a call at 435-817-9187, and email is great as well. So that's a stringer at redclifflegal.com, and the website is the same, so redclifflegal.com. You can reach me through that as well.
Cool. Aaron, thank you. It's been a delight. Another great show. We'll see you guys again next time with another edition of Legacy Made Clear.
Sounds good. Take care.